Greetings, beautiful black brothers and sisters. How y'all doing today? Happy New Year. Abundant blessings and peace to you throughout 2020. Hope this is a prosperous year for us all. Prosperous and productive. I'm not going to talk too much about Sankofa Repatriation Assistance Program today. I want to talk about something else that's going on in this country. This stuff that's going on with Iran and how our people may be affected. Unless you've been under a rock somewhere, you know that America bombed Iraq's international airport, killing a bunch of civilians and an Iranian general. It's been all over the news. Of course, Iran, the people in Iraq, though America is claiming Iran is behind it, and it's possible. I don't know. I wouldn't blame them if it were, but they stormed the embassy there, and tried to break inside, set parts of it on fire. The people in Iraq and Iran are chanting death to America. Basically, these people are sick of America. And honestly, if you are honest with yourself, you cannot blame these people. People are sick and tired of America controlling them, controlling their resources, destabilizing their countries, physically destroying their countries with war and bombs and killing innocent women and children and men. People are sick of it. As an American citizen, I'm sick of it. I just don't understand what this warmongering is about. I mean, I know what it's about, but I don't understand, why can't we, the American people, control our government? I have to believe that the vast majority of people in America do not approve of all the stuff that our government does in other people's countries. But yet, somehow, we don't seem to exercise our power. Or do we have the power to stop these people and control these people? That's what I want to know, because as a human being, as a human on planet Earth, you cannot support this. I just, it's terrible. But you can't blame these people when they retaliate, and however way they choose to retaliate, because their countries are destroyed. And yet we're over here going to the club, getting fat, eating, partying, and not making our government stop. So at some point, these people are going to want us over here to feel the pain, and then don't complain when they do. Okay. America has a long history. They use war for stimulating the economy. War is money for these people. Okay. And I know they try to come out and say that the economy is doing well. Let me tell you what the economy is like that a lot of you don't know. There's a brother that has a channel. He's a black brother from Detroit, and it's called Rethinking the Dollar. I highly suggest that you all subscribe to that brother's channel. Start listening. All he really talks about is the economy and the inner workings. They have people from economists and even economists from other countries, and he brings them on as guests. Go watch some of these videos and find out what's really going on. Our economy is like this. You ever seen a fine woman? She looks good on the outside, but her personality on the inside, she's ugly. She's rotten to the core. Or you go to her house and her house is dirty on the inside, but on the outside, she looks fine. She looks, you think, that's America's economy. On the outside, it gives the appearance that everything is fine, it's looking good, but on the inside, it's not well. Okay? So I highly recommend you go to Rethinking the Dollar on YouTube and start watching some of that brother's video. I'm not an economist, but he really breaks things down in a way and provide a lot of sources for you to get a better understanding of what's really happening. And black people, you're going to be screwed. You're gonna be screwed. You're already at the bottom of the barrel economically. And so when they can't prop this system up anymore, any longer, and it's on its last leg as I'm making this video, and I believe this is why they want to instigate another war, because this is the pattern you go through. This is what they do. They instigate wars to try to stimulate the economy and get money going and things like that. But somebody, I had said something about, DC being probably going to be their first target. And somebody had mentioned, Iran doesn't have the capabilities of reaching over here, blah, blah, blah. Listen, you don't know that. You're just repeating what these people say. Whatever the U.S. government tells you or the news, you do not know what Iran is capable of. You have no clue. And when has America ever told you the truth about anything? Okay, when has the government ever told you the truth about anything? So stop repeating what these people tell you like you know it to be a fact. You do not know it to be a fact. You don't know what they're capable of, actually. You never even been to Iran. You don't know what they're capable of. So just, stop with that. But at the end of the day, my father, who is a retired U.S. Army officer, who was a commander of the whole reserve unit where he lives. He was the commander of that base. And my father served in Vietnam. He did 2 tours in Vietnam, and he also went to war in Desert Storm in the 90s. So that person said, I called my father today because we talk, and especially when something big is going on in the news regarding the wars and the foreign relations and things. My dad and I talked, and my dad said to me that the first thing he told me was, we go to war with Iran. He said they're going to retaliate. That one, he said they're going to retaliate. 2, he said it could lead, and it probably will, to a very long fight. It's not something it's not like we're going to just do something to them and it's just going to be over. He said Iran is not Afghanistan. Iran is not Syria. Iran is not Iraq. Okay? It's completely different. And he said also, no young black people should be going into the military. He said, because you're going to either be maimed or you're going to die. So stay away. And he also said that Iran has sleeper cells all throughout this country. So when they get ready to set shit off, don't think that it's all going to be over there, okay, on the other side of the ocean. He said they're here, all amongst us, all around, and we can get that work too, okay? So, I don't know if they have capabilities of reaching over here or not. I know that, and neither do any of you. I know that they have nuclear capabilities. I also know that Russia recently announced this hypersonic missile that is unstoppable, and they might, who knows if they have procured some of those or have the ability of procuring some of those. They just did recently, they did joint military exercises with Russia and with China. Iran did. I know that, I remember, was it this summer? I can't remember They had the military missile detection that's supposed to stop missiles from hitting them. This was in Iran. In Syria. And somebody, Syria shot missiles over, and these things that they bought from America to stop these missiles, to intercept them, it failed. It didn't work. So America's equipment clearly isn't all that. If y'all remember, somebody help me out in the comments. When I don't remember who it was some of these rebels or whatever. They were supposed to have this system to stop these missiles, and I think it was Russia. It was Russia that bombed their ass over there, and that missile, that system that was supposed to stop and intercept them, the missiles, it failed, and it was U.S. Military equipment that failed. It didn't work, and the Russians were able to bomb those rebels' asses. So I don't know how great America's technology is anymore, but anyway. And the other thing I wanted to say is they don't necessarily have to bomb us, even though I believe we will have some terrorist attacks here in retaliation. I believe that. But Ted Koppel, if y'all remember Ted Koppel, the news anchor, he has a book called Lights Out. Look it up. Google it. Go to YouTube, put in Ted Koppel's name and put Lights Out. And he has a number of interviews that he's done talking about his investigative. He put a book out about his investigative journalism on this issue of our power grids being hacked into. So really, they could take us out without any act of violence. They could just simply hack into the power grid, which according to Ted Koppel, they already have the capabilities of doing it. North Korea does, Russia does, and Iran does. They have the capability of just turning off our power. And when that happens, and according to Ted Koppel, he has, I'm telling y'all, go look up the interviews. According to Ted Koppel, the U.S. Pentagon, all these people in government, Senate, Capitol Hill, they know that these people can turn off the power. And they absolutely can't do anything about it. And according to Ted Koppel, it's not a matter of if they're going to do it, but when will they do it? And when they do it, imagine everything shuts off. You're not going to be able, the power grid, that means no electricity. That means probably internet is going to go off. All of the things that work electronically are going to go off. The gas stations where you get your fuel, no fuel. Your food in your refrigerator is going to spoil. None of us, the vast majority of Black people, are not prepared for that event. We don't even own land anymore, so we can't just go outside. I remember when I was a little girl in Mississippi, we had a well, and we could get water there, our own water. But nowadays, guess what? Nobody has a well anymore for their own independent source of water. If the grocery stores run out of food, we're screwed. Most of us don't know how to even grow our own food anymore. We've gotten away from that in just one generation. So most Black people haven't stocked up on water. They haven't taken survival courses to go learn how to hunt and fish. Probably some brothers and sisters in the South still go fishing on the weekends and stuff, but that's not the vast majority. The vast majority of our brothers and sisters are in cities, in like New York, in Chicago, and Atlanta and LA. And we're all into these cities, and we've left the rural areas where we were doing a lot of those things. So if these people, we're just completely unprepared. That's the point I'm trying to make. We're just not ready for it. And I just checking my notes to make sure I covered everything I wanted to say, and I believe that I have. But guys, I think that with everything that's going on, we're gonna have to start getting serious about being serious and paying attention to what's going on. I know most of us are just in survival mode, trying to pay our bills, go to work and pay our bills, but we're not preparing. And these people are doing whatever they want and not consulting us, and we're going to be the ones who's going to catch the brunt end of whatever happens based on what they do. A lot of our young people go into the military because they see that as the only option, for work, but they're going to end up in a situation where they're going to be maimed or possibly killed fighting these imperialistic wars that don't benefit us at all. They have nothing to do with us. So I just wanted to put this message out just to give y'all a few things to start thinking about, start preparing, talking to your families about what to do. What are you going to do if one of these sleeper cells blow up something in your city and things get shut down, and then they bring in martial law and you can't get out and go to the grocery store? What are you going to do? I mean, do you have maybe 3 months supply of water in the house? Do you have things like dry beans and rice and canned goods and things like that so that you can, do you have those things stocked up so that you can have food? Pay attention, guys. Pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on with this economy. Pay attention to these right now with this thing they're trying to take us look like into World War III. And I don't believe Americans are just not going to be affected by it. I just don't believe that. So let's all, pray. I mean, we got to do a little bit more than pray, but also put some work with that prayer, and start prepping your family and talking to your kids about if, even things like where y'all going to meet up if something happens and they're at school, or if they're, out and something happens, have a plan on where you're going to meet up. If the power grid goes off and then you don't have cell phones, you can't talk to each other, you need to have a plan. What you're going to do, where you're going to meet up, things like that. So just talking to y'all out of love. I don't want to have our people be the ones that get caught slipping out here when things go bad. And I just got a really, really, really bad feeling. So I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't happen, but I have a very bad feeling. So with that being said, family, support the Sankofa Repatriation Assistance Program. I got to still mention that. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. Share it. Tell people about it. Go to the website, sankofarepat.com. That's sankofarepat.com. SANKOFAREPAT.com. Hit the donate button there. Sign up and commit to at least $1 a month so we can pool our resources and try to repatriate our brothers and sisters back to the continent and get them set up in businesses. And with that, I'll close out. I love you guys. Take care. Peace. Black power. And Happy New Year. Love you.